Lou is on the phone with us right now. Many people might know the name Max Weinberg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bruce Springsteen's drummer for 43 years.
Right.
Conan O'Brien's drummer for 17 years. And he's coming to the Ridgefield Playhouse on the 17th. Hey, Max, thanks for joining us.
What's going on, Max?
Hey, guys, good morning. It's great to be with you on this wonderful morning.
Well
How's
put.
the weather in Connecticut?
Well, right now it's sunny, but it's cold, It's just the way it is this time of year.
Well, I love the Northeast. I live in Florida, and it's 80 degrees and sunny and beautiful, but I love the Northeast. Looking forward to coming up to Ridgefield to play for you all.
Well, I got to tell you, it's gorgeous up here right now.
Prime time,
Right.
Northeast,
Foliage. Yeah, leaf peep.
I'm a leaf peeper myself.
Now, Ethan was telling me about the show off the air, and this sounds amazing. Can you tell us about it?
Jukebox.
Well, it's fun. Max Weinberg's Jukebox. Through the years, I've taken a lot of different types of bands on the road. This one has really had a tremendous reaction. It's all audience requests all night long.
Come on.
60s, early 70s, and music I listened to learn how to become a drummer when I was a young kid, and everything from the Beatles, the Stones, the English Invasion, Beach Boys, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, you name it, we play it, and that's exactly what it is.
What do you do? Do you call out audience members, or how do they request a song?
Yeah, just people raise their hand.
Come on.
See, this isn't a concert, it's a party, so it's very audience participatory. So people will literally, raise their hand. What do you want to hear? Oh, you want to hear Wonderful Tonight? Why? Did they play that at your prom? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And people really seem to enjoy it. We've done about 100 of these shows in the last 18 months or so. And, but it's loose, and generally the venues, whether it's a rock club or a beautiful small theater like the Playhouse, they generally have an area for adult beverages.
Right.
And I encourage people to do it responsibly,
Sure.
but to enjoy themselves, because after about an hour, the guys I'm playing with, they start to sound like Crosby, Stills, and Nash if you drink enough. So, like I said, it's a party, and I tell stories, a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of my career as the band leader on Conan O'Brien's late night program and short-lived Tonight Show. Also, of course, in 2019, it'll be 45 years with Bruce and the E Street Band.
Holy jeez.
Sometimes some of the parts I play in the songs, in these, Beatles or Stone songs, as I'm playing them, I'll be reminded that, oh yeah, I stole that for X. And, what I mean, whether I stole it or it just sort of was an impromptu, this reminds me of that. So I sometimes think as I'm playing, I got to tell the audience, I draw a connection between, for example, it's no coincidence that if you listen to the middle section of Candy's Room and Paint It Black by the Stones, any similarity is completely both obvious and planned by me.
If you just joined us, we're joined by Max Weinberg this morning, almost 45 years as Bruce's drummer. He's also obviously rock and roll's most overachieving drummer.
Max.
Yeah, well, I've been very fortunate throughout my whole career to have both, being in the E Street Band, which was my dream as a kid to hook up with a band like that. The hardest thing is to get a great singer and great songs. So we'll check those off the list.
Right.
And, it's been an incredible ride. And then in 1993, hooking up with Conan O'Brien and starting the late night program on NBC. I did that for 17 years. Actually, for the last 10 years of that, I did both.
Both of them.
Yeah. So it was an abundance of good times for me, and I was the luckiest guy in the world.
All I want to do is sit around and watch reruns of The West Wing. I mean, it's like...
Max, you mentioned earlier the Tonight Show and the short-lived nature of the Tonight Show that Conan had. I was on Team Coco, and I didn't appreciate the handling of that. And you were, of course, a cast member and obviously very close to the situation. How did it make you feel?
Well, it was not a surprise, actually. It was shocking. I had been on the road that fall, to tell you the truth, and I've been meeting a lot of affiliates of our broadcasting network, and they were kind of they'd corner me and read me the riot act starting that summer of, hey, what's going on over there? So it was very shocking. I suppose the shock of it was softened by the fact that I was still playing very a lot with the E Street Band. So I kind of, instead of doing both jobs, I ended up doing just the one, with Bruce and the E Street Band. And but it was shocking. It was, the decisions made there were above my pay grade, both at the network and at the production level. So, but 17 years, it was a fabulous job. I just really enjoyed it. And one of the great things about it was I was able, when we shot in New York, I was able to come home every night and be a father to my two children who were young at the time, and not have to be a road rat, which I don't mind. But with children, it makes it a lot harder. And I loved the stability of going to the studio every day. And it was kind of like Ricky Ricardo, Lucy, on going to the club. I went to the studio every day, great bunch of people to work with, brought out a comedic side of me that I never even knew I had, because a daily TV show, everybody's pressed into service. You got to come up with so much material. The writers, and starting with Conan, who I still think is the funniest guy in the world and brilliant. Starting with him, the writers work so hard that coming up with this stuff that you try to give them the best of whatever you can do. And they brought out a side of me that being solely in a rock band would have never ever come out. As a matter of fact, there's some platform, Netflix or somebody, who's coming out, I believe in January, I did just under 4,000 shows there, and they're starting with show 1 and showing them sequentially, which has never been done. So, I'll give a little shout out to the fact that all of our early shows, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube, and but these early shows are coming out, and it was just a wild, incredibly creative experience. I really loved it. So all things end, and fortunately I was able to just solely concentrate on being in the E Street Band.
After almost 4 decades, well, not almost, over 4 decades with Bruce, did you ever have any arguments, beefs, screaming arguments about anything?
No. Our scene is very non-histrionic. But there were. Look, there's a reason he's called the boss. He's the boss. And, when you're growing up, and we started as, we were children. We were younger than our children are now. And, there's the normal growing pains of being a young person. And then there's also the growing pains of being, a band. And the growing pains of a recording career when I joined that was, a bit on the skids. So, but we were together for 10 years solid. We were together almost 24/7. And I think it's a tribute to how well we get along with each other and get on with each other that here we are all these years later, essentially still to get, playing. And, we played a year and a half ago as our last tour. The terrible losses of Clarence Clemens and Danny Federici affect us to this day. But the fact that we've remained largely intact is, it's a bit of a tribute to the years we spent growing up and working things out. So, yeah, we, Pete Townsend from The Who once remarked, he joined our tour for a couple of weeks in Europe and England. I think it was the Born USA tour. He traveled with us, and, he remarked one time that, well, you're backstage scene, it's like a hospital. And it's like so low key and no scene at all.
Yeah, he was used to much different when everybody was around. Hey, look, Max, it sounds like a great show. Max Weinberg's Jukebox, November 17th at the Ridgefield Playhouse. You raise your hand, you make a request. They make just play that request, and does that all night long.
You got to go see it. We're big fans, Max. Thanks for taking some time.
Thank you so much.
Ethan, it was my pleasure, and stop down if you can. It's the 17th, and it's a gorgeous theater, and the band it's a lot of fun.
I can't wait. Thanks again, Max.
Thanks, Max.
Thanks, guys.
Best. Bye.